The entire Democrat agenda is to destroy this country from within, and it's working. Yes, you are correct. That is exactly what the Democrat agenda is. And yes, it is working, but only temporarily. Yes. Their lifeline of it working is very, very limited and short. So Trump said when he was in office, and he's been proven to be right about like everything he said. So when he said, go watch the clip, I mean, anybody who sees this and doesn't believe me, where he says, I caught the swamp, I caught them all. I'm the only one that could do that. I caught the swamp, I caught them all. Said that to the press. And like most people who are been, if you're, when you were under that veil, so to speak, which is the cloud of confusion, you would have heard him say that. And there's so many things to point to with Trump where this would be true, where he said something and it was just like you couldn't make any sense of it. Just, it was nothing. You didn't look anything into it. You didn't think anything about it. The very fact that you didn't think anything about it tells you how manipulated you've been. Because there's so many things he said that should have been for somebody that is truly critical thinking, that should have been alarm bells. But I believe he knew the public was fast asleep, and it would take a damn miracle to jolt at least some of the American people out of it. Because you've been told forever and ever, this is a free country. You live in this free country. I don't see this country. I believe what the vision the founders have. I totally do. But I think universities hijacked it from the beginning. And that's the reason they've been the experts our whole life. That they're the only powers that be to listen to. And that they've been used as a tool to say, this is how we'll control the public. This is the expert, so you got to listen to them. But look at how dark the universities are. And look at who they employ. They employ domestic terrorists. Bill Ayers, Bernardine Dorn, who was at Northwestern, his wife, they literally bombed buildings back in the 60s, got away with it, with the exception of his wife, Bernardine Dorn, doing a small stint in prison, and that's it. But she got off, just like all of them get off. Most especially the presidents will get them off. Then the universities hire them, because the universities is the hood. Yeah, Yale is a hood. Harvard is it's just it's just considered as itself a high class, a high class syndicate. It's still junk. It's still garbage. It's worse than the worst hood in Chicago, where gang members are. It's worse than that. Because you pay a bunch of money to them. You pay a bunch of money to those mobsters to go and get your kid get indoctrinated by these psychopaths. That's what they are. Bill Ayers isn't the only one that has been forever, almost, his most of his adult life at University of Illinois, Chicago. And as I said, I've already explained the trash that came out of there, what I watched a nurse do. And that's where their biggest nursing union contract in Illinois is University of Illinois, Chicago. Yeah, go screw that place, can stick it up their ass. I have no filter because I'm just so done with the bullshit. I do not trust any of our agencies. I won't even answer my door. I trust no one. At this point, if somebody came up to me that I don't know and tried to, I'd be screaming like, you know what? Nope, get away from me. Because there has been so many lies. And while those effing experts carry on about misinformation, they are the misinformation. And they are not experts. They became only experts at being psychopaths. That's it. If that's what you want to go get a degree in, that's what the university will help you do. Go pay the $80,000 to go to Harvard or University of Illinois, Chicago, and feel all high and mighty and snobby with your degree of psychopathy that you come out of there with this haze of, I have no empathy over me. And that everything is done in the name of science and experts. and that the government gets to dictate what morality looks like, except that takes having a moral compass. And the universities nor our government have it. So I trust none of them. I mean, like many Americans, I trust none of them. You've seen the videos on TikTok where people have had FBI or people come to their house, people investigating them because of something, they said on, and not a threat, but just expressing, using their First Amendment rights to express themselves, and then they have investigators at their door. No, man, no, stay away from me. Because I've seen that people have seen the videos of that happening. They've gone kind of viral. At least if you're, depending on the algorithm, I guess you're in. But even on other social media platforms, it's like I trust no one. I'm not paying. I don't give a shit what these people want. You've been stealing from me all of these banks, all of these credit card agencies, all these universities that got on board with this global plan. People want to do something. Stop paying your credit cards. Did you sign on to their third party? Did they tell you about how they would be getting in bed with globalists and you were okay with that and you still think you should pay that bill? That. No. None of us signed on to this. So see, when all of these businesses go along with this traitorous agenda, then you have lost not only confidence from the American people, but no, our agreement through this trust agreement is null and void. And you can use all your legalities and loopholes you want to. But at the end of the day, the true Americans who are not domestic terrorists like Joe Biden says, but he's the domestic terrorist because he projects his ugliness of what him and the Democrat Party are onto everybody else. They've always done it. That's what they've always done, the Democrats. They have. I've watched them do it for 2 decades. That's the only greatest trick they up their sleeve is projecting their own ugliness and foulness onto everybody else. And all of our associations are the same way because at the universities, they will teach you how to be the best sociopath you can be, and you won't even realize it. So, all of those lower level fish need to be caught. See, Trump got the top. They're doing their damnedest right now, though, to try to stop him. But he knew, yeah, let him go. He has all of them. He's not worried about the top. Let all the stragglers, all the universities, the associations, show their traitorous self. Because it's one thing that you went along with an agenda because you just weren't thinking and you were in the fog of confusion. But there's those other ones, and unfortunately, there's too many of them that are just straight up communists. And no communist, even in a private organization, has the right to supersede our Constitution, has the right to say, you will pay me even though I decided to get on board with globalists. Yeah, then do what you got to do. But there's an ending here, and that ending will not turn out well for that side. Just hang on.